Good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome to Makeup with Meesh, the show where you get ready with me in the morning before I head into work. And I have to, first of all, just apologize for the mess. I'm in the middle of cleaning out my closet, which is why there is a pile as tall as me of clothes over here, because it is both laundry that I need to put away and clothes that I'm like sifting through to clean out. And I just haven't gotten to it. I did, okay, so like last week, I don't know what it was, if it was, I think it was a combination, I guess, of just demotivation to do like basically anything, with like a really packed meeting schedule that just kind of like mentally drained me. That's really what it was. It was like work last week mentally drained me, and like mentally and emotionally made me exhausted, which turned into physical exhaustion. And I just like could not combat it. I mean, I just like succumbed to it, and I had like a glass of wine every night, and I don't really drink on the weekdays anymore. And like I'm kind of like, if I'm gonna drink, it's gonna be because we're going out on a date night or something. But I mean, I was like a glass of wine every night to relax. I just want to watch my shows. I don't want to do anything or care about anything. And that translated to me not doing or caring about anything, like laundry and cleaning up our house and just stuff like that. And so, I mean, it was obnoxious. I think I had 7 loads of laundry that were piled up in the living room in this like massive pile that had been sitting there for a week. And then, you know, the clothes like don't even look clean anymore. They're just like crumbled up on a bench. Yeah, so last week was a rough week for me, just like mentally. And it meant that I didn't do anything, so I was super behind. So yesterday, I got up, we went to a kid's birthday party at a brewery, as one does, and then at a German beer garden, to be specific. Yeah. And then we went to, then we just came home. I came home, and I like got my head in gear. I put on CNN so I could be up to date on everything going on with Ukraine and Russia, and use that as background noise as I just attacked the laundry and everything. And of course, I kept stopping and getting enthralled with what was going on the television. But yeah, so I know it looks like mess in the back of me right now. All that to say is that I've actually made a lot of progress. I got all of the laundry done except for what you see there. And I'm cleaning out my closet before I move anything in, because I've just decided it's chaos and there's no space. I'm going to clean stuff out. Spring cleaning, if you will. Which, for me, like spring cleaning is year round, because if y'all are new to the channel or new to me, hi, I'm Meesh. But I'm like a clean freak completely. Like, I do not have junk in my drawers. I don't even have a junk drawer. Everything in my house is like very neatly organized in most cases. I mean, definitely compared to like broader America, but even like of organized America, I'm like at the top. And last week you would not have known it. Like, if you look at any of my drawers, like I have all the acrylic drawer organizers, everything's labeled, all of that. Like, that would have been fine. But usually I don't have like mess in my house either. And it was just like mess. But I feel like I've just been crazy busy since the beginning of this year, because we had, like the entire month of January was basically multiple COVID quarantines for the kids back to back, because there were so many exposures at school. And every time that happens, the schools have to close. Since my husband and I both work, that meant we were both home with at the time, a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old. So that made that pretty hard. And I mean, at that point, you're just like surviving, right? Any free time, you're not worried about cleaning up kids' mess. You're just worried about getting your work done and, you know, keeping the children alive. So we were in that mode, and then we went straight into like a birthday party mode for our youngest daughter who turned 2 in February. And I mean, I cleaned up everything, and you know, but it's just like an event to plan the party, and we hosted it here and all that. And then last week, I don't know if it just like it all hit me, but I was like, I just don't want to do anything. I don't care. And then here we are at the end of February. That's like flown by. And so now it's time for me to reset, channel the Meesh OCD cleanliness that I'm used to, and like get back to it. By the way, what I just did to my face was the Dr. Dennis Gross, the Alpha Beta Peel. I use the extra strength because I don't use it every day. I use it like every 2 to 3 days. But this is a step 1, step 2, exfoliate and anti-aging like cloth that you rub on your face, and it does the exfoliation and then the treatment. But I really like those. I can tell literally as soon as I use them, like a few minutes later, my skin just feels way more glowy and looks way more better. Way more better. Highly recommend. I've been using them for a while. I stocked up on them at the Sephora sale right before Christmas, because they had, you could get like basically double for the price of one, and the babies are expensive. I mean, it's $80 for a pack of 35. That I can't do math. What is that? Okay, so that's over $2. That's over $2 a packet. So over $1 a wipe, technically, yeah. She's a genius. But I do really like them, and I will continue using them, but that's why I use the extra strength to kind of space them out so that I can not use them every day, because I do feel like it's pricey. And it's not part of my like main night carry thing. I usually do most of my skincare in the evening. So that was like a fun little added morning treat for when you wake up. And I need everyone to not look at this as I'm pointing at it. Just don't look at it. What this is caked on spray tan. I put on a spray tan yesterday, and I haven't washed it off yet. And I need to wash it off. And I will do that later in the day. But I've got, like, I needed to get my makeup done. I've got to go get blood work done in a second when I finish this. And then after blood work, I've got a couple of morning meetings. And then I've got a little afternoon break. I was like, I'll hop in. I won't get my makeup wet. And then I'll just, like, rinse off the body and get dressed, because I have to go, not have to, but I am going to a dinner tonight with a couple of my coworkers who also live in Austin. One of the other managers on our team flew in from Colorado, and she's here visiting, and we were like, oh, let's get all the managers together while you're here. So that is what we're doing. So we're gonna go eat at a restaurant in Austin tonight, all of us, which will be a nice like team camaraderie. So I'm excited about that. Okay, oh, the back. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and plug in my Hot Tools curling iron, just get that prepped for later, so that when I'm done with my makeup, it's already hot, and I can move this presentation along. All right, I'm gonna bring you over there, buddy. All right, Hot Tools is set. Okay, and as a reminder, I just put on my sunscreen and moisturizer combo. I use the Road & Fields Redefine line, and I just put that on. But I actually just switched because I wanted to test it out. They have something called the Reverse line, and it's for like anti-aging and like reverse. It's got more hyaluronic acid and retinoids. That's what it's got. It's got retinoids in it. And I was like, oh, let's see. I've always used the Redefine line, and I like it. I've tried other things, and I always end up going back to it. But I have been looking at skincare ingredients lately since I had, all those issues a couple weeks ago. And I just was like, why not? I'll try that line too. I know somebody whose skin's freaking amazing, and she alternates between the two. And I'm like, maybe it'll just like kind of confuse your skin and make the products work again. I've heard that before too. So I don't know. I should have worn a turtleneck today. I just want y'all to know that this is not, like, I could scrape this off, okay? This is not my neck. This is, oh, yikes, looking rough. Unlike my neck looking rough, that this will go away later today, this will not. This is a horrible cold sore. For some reason, I am the unfortunate human that gets them on their nose and not their lips. I mean, I'm sure if you get cold sores on your lips, you might argue that that is worse, because I've heard they're painful in the cracks of your lips. Look, I get it, but all I know is that I can crush it with a lip liner, and like, I would just draw lips on my entire face and people would just think I'm Steven Tyler, versus this, that you can literally not cover up with like the hand of God. There's nothing that you can do to hide this. Like, you can cake powder and foundation into it. Well, one, it's just disgusting. And it just looks like crusty, like scab on your face. There's nothing you can do. So I've decided to embrace it. Here's where I'm at in life. I get cold sores on my nose. And I blame my husband for that. So, because I never had them until I met him. Anyway, but a friend of mine that I went to Miss USA with a couple months ago, she gets cold sores on her lips, and she said to get your doctor to call in a prescription for them, and that the pills will knock it out in like 2 or 3 days. I've never had cold sores like a lot. I'll get them like one every like 4 to 6 months usually. And yes, it's obnoxious, but I'm also like, I don't know, I don't feel like it's like worth having a prescription, and they've always gone relatively quickly. But I mean, this year alone, I've had like 3, like basically in the same spot. And I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. I think it's the dry weather. And I have also, I just moved into a new job in January, like still with Facebook, but I moved into a new team. And then, the kids were home the entire month, and it's just been like kind of seemingly jam-packed with stuff. I don't know. I can give you a million excuses. Maybe it's stress. Maybe it's just like, this is who I am now. I don't know. But I finally called and talked to somebody on Teladoc who gave me the prescription. And I have been taking that for a few days. I took it I just popped my 4th one. You can technically take it every 8 hours. I don't know what mine's called. It's got like a V and a Y in it, so obviously I can't pronounce it. But you can take it every 8 hours. But I have not been doing that because I took it because I did exactly what doctors tell you not to do. It's like you take the medicine, you start seeing that it's improving, and you stop taking it. That's exactly what I did. In my defense, he did say on the phone, he was like, he gave me a week's supply. And he was like, some people can take it for like literally 3 days and it's knocked out. Some people it's like 4 or 5. So I took it for 2, and I've never taken this before. And so I was like, I saw an improvement. Like, it was almost gone on day 2 of taking it. And I was like, oh shit, this is cool. This stuff rocks. And then I stopped taking it, and then it got worse. And so I started taking it again. And I'm not going to stop taking it forever. No, just kidding. I just took my dose already right before I started streaming. And I'm going to, let's see, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to take another one before I go to dinner tonight. and then I'm going to wake up in the morning and it's going to be gone. I'm willing that out there. And I've also got like a Breva and stuff, but you know, then I'm like joining meetings looking like I just snorted a line of Coke. So you just can't win with them on your nose, you know what I mean? But I can tell you right now, if this was right here on my lip, I would be drawing a lip liner, like we'd be doing a bold red lip like you've never seen, and nobody would know that was there. So you can come at me if you get them on your lips, but I'm just saying, like, I think those are easier to cover, having never had one, you know, and nothing to compare it to. All right. Okay. So I'm putting the foundation on. I am just kind of avoiding this area because like I said, it is what it is. Like, what am I going to do about it? Like, we're human. We get cold sores, so whatever. Bigger problems going on in the world right now, you know what I mean? So, okay. So I'm trying to get like a tiny, it's like very concentrating. I'm trying to get a tiny bit of the all over foundation color, the fawn, that I generally, like, if I was going to put this all over my face, this would be the color I use. It matches my skin tone most closely, but I'm just kind of highlighting underneath that contour line that I did a second ago so that it can really pop and give me an angle. There. Yeah. And I'm going, yeah. See, I'm just, God, it's so gross. Oh, it's horrible. All right. I mean, I don't want to like cake junk in there because I'm going to put some Breva on it. Before I go out tonight, I'll probably sweep some powder over it. And I have been taking like ice and icing, and then I'll do like a warm compress. This is what I found is the best to cover it, because I did have to go to a birthday party yesterday, and I was going to, it was a friend's birthday party. Her daughter was turning 2, and I know her, but I've never met any of her friends or family or her husband or anything. And I was like, I'm going to show up here with this like obnoxious thing. It's just like, you know, embarrassing. And so I was like, let me see if I can cover this. So what I did yesterday was I took a washcloth and got it wet and basically just put like a warm compress on it. I don't know if that's the right thing to do because I've heard you're supposed to ice it. But what I really wanted to do was basically just get the area wet so that it wasn't like, God, the words I'm about to use right now. Ooh. So that it wasn't, you know, the scab type thing that you typically get with cold sores. And so I got all of that off, and then it was flat, and I could dust a little bit of like translucent powder to combat some of the redness without having to like cake anything on it or over it. And that actually hit it really, really well. Like, you had to be up close to me to tell that there was any kind of patchiness. Right now, because I'm not going out until later tonight, I'm not doing that. I want to leave it open and just like let it heal and not irritate it anymore. So I'm just leaving it open for this makeup look. But before I go out tonight, after I come in here and shower all this cakiness off, I will, I'll probably do that and then, you know, dust a little bit of light powder over it. All right. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. Can't breathe. Still combating this like winter cold thing that won't go away. I've got all kinds of problems. Just come here to listen to all my problems. All right, so I just put the Laura Mercier under eye brightener underneath my eyes just to kind of like set that that Tom Ford foundation that's acting as like a concealer underneath my eyes, just to kind of set that. And then I did the I did the Fenty Beauty eye primer so that my eye makeup will stay all day. More coffee because she can't find the words. All right, so now I'm going to go over that eye primer with a skin tone eyeshadow. And this is basically just setting that eye primer so that I can blend shades on top of it. Because if I don't do that, it's going to look like I smeared them instead of blended them, because the eye primer is tacky, you know? It'd be like putting contour kit on, or contour shades on a like wet foundation, you know? Like it's not going to blend, it's just going to smear it in there and not look good. You know what it's going to look like if you do that? It's going to look like this on my neck. And that's not what we want. Okay, I think I'm going to bust out the 35XO Natural Flirt today. I'm going to do some pinks and browns. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. All right, I have to clean out my brushes really well because my 4-year-old was in here yesterday as we were getting ready for the birthday party and decided that she would like to do her makeup like a mermaid. And this led to purple eyeshadows being all over my makeup brushes. So if we get a surprise in a minute and I accidentally put purple eyeshadow on my makeup brushes, this is why. All right, I did something I actually have been trying not to do. I went back into old habits and I just used a darker crease shade first instead of building like a transition shade and building it up. What's done has been done, so I'm going to do it on this side too. But I've been watching a lot of like makeup artists, you know, because I'm just like, I'm not the makeup artist, but I am above average at makeup. And I've been watching them apply eyeshadow, and they're all like, you know, you got to build your transition shade up to really blend them out. Then you go in with the darker crease shades. Like that's just how you do it, you know? And I've been doing that lately. It's resulted in, one, a lot less fallout because I'm not putting as dark of pigment, you know, down heavy first, but also like much nicer blended lighter looks. And I like it, but old habits die hard. And as I was not forcefully paying attention just then, making myself think through this, then you can tell I've already reverted back to my old tricks, which are just swipe it on there and cross your fingers. So we're going to see. So clearly I'm going for more of a darker look today, which is fine because I do have a dinner later, you know, so this can be more of an evening look. That I will just also wear during the daytime. Who actually transitions to an evening look? Like, who goes to your 9-to-5 office job and brings their makeup bag and transitions? Do people do that? I don't take any makeup to work with me. Like, once it's on, this is what you get. All right. So, I can't even, I'm really just picking colors. All right, that didn't look too bad. I mean, it definitely did the darker on the outside first, but. All right, I'm actually going to go a little bit darker because I do want this kind of smudged out in the corners. A little more smoked. So I'm going to smoke this out right here, and I'll smoke out under eye as well. I'm going to have to go back and do quite a bit of blending because I went out of order a little bit here. All right, do we want to do a sparkly gold or sparkly pink? The answer is yes. Yes, we do. We're going to go with a sparkly pink on the lids. I mean, nothing like a Monday morning sparkly pink eyelid. You know what I mean? I freaking love this stuff. This reminds me of, like, you know, when you go to the nail salons and you're like, oh, I want sparkle nails. And they're like, okay, well, we have to pick a color to go underneath it because it's kind of just clear with sparkles. That's basically what this is.
which I like. It's like glue. It's like sparkle glue.
Ooh, that is very sparkly.
I could really bake this in, but I feel like it's a little intense for a Monday. I don't know. I might add more. I'll probably add more. But let's get this under eye look taken care of first. All right, so I'm gonna, let's see. I'm gonna go with this little squished up smudge brush, and I'm going to tap a couple of different shades and kind of blend a brown and a pink together to match this. And I'm gonna pull this eye up, 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 up to shape it. And I will be going back underneath to clean it up, since this is a darker look and I don't want to have dark circles under my eye, but I also want more of a sharper line since I'm smoking this out a good bit. Oh, the king has delivered. That's hot, babe. Okay, thanks. That curling iron's hot. It could have been bad. Melting that plastic. Thank you. Oh, well, that's hot too. My boo just delivered an iced coffee for me. And he set it next to the curling iron. And I was like, ooh, be careful, that's hot. And he was like, oh yeah, you think that's hot? I'm bringing you coffee. All right, so I'm smudging this in, just kind of blending that all in. Okay, I know it looks a little raccoony and circly. I'm gonna fix that. I did go a little out of order in how I normally apply my eyeshadow, so. All right, so blended that out. And then I just realized I need to add in some brow mascara real quick to let that set. I was using the Thick It or Stick It brow mascara from NYX. I was testing that out last week, and I don't know that I love it. Like, I do like it when I apply it. It looks really good, but then to try to add anything on top of it, it was not working out for me. Like, it wasn't drying almost. And then like I would try to add in eye pencil to fill in like the patchiness in my eyebrows, and it was just like dragging the color across my skin, making it look more like eyeliner. So I really like how it like emphasizes the individual hairs, but then it wasn't staying that way as I was adding in, you know, faux individual hairs. And so I just don't know if that's gonna work. I could see if you already have full brows that you don't have to color in any. Like, I don't have a tail on this brow at all, and like this is so patchy right here. I have really blonde eyebrows, and even like they're dyed most of the time, and they're just not that full. And so like if you don't have that, maybe you could use that to just make them slightly darker and stand out more, but I don't know that's gonna work for me. All right, so now I'm gonna go in with a, where are you? I'm gonna go in with a Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Eyes eyeliner, and I'm just gonna put that right on the outskirts of my liner line. I'm really doing this just to kind of suck onto the pigment of the eyeshadow that I'm about to put on top of it to make it darker. Just to make that corner of the eye look like a little bit more, just a little darker. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe that away because I don't want that to sit there. And it kind of makes it look like a gradient almost. All right. I'm going to wipe that away. And I'm going to have to definitely go back underneath this and clear this out. Clean it up. All right. The glitter is definitely making this look a little nightclub-ish, but
that's fine for a Monday going into work, right? Totally fine. All right. Perfect, perfect. All right, so now I'm going to go in and clean up underneath the under eye with a little bit of my contour kit, like the banana powder in it. All right, there. And just sweep that up and clean it up. See, that already brightens it up a lot more. A little bit of this is actually just kind of like hiding a lot of the fallout. I shouldn't have that much fallout, but y'all saw me completely mess up my eye application by putting the darkest shade I have on first. I do not recommend that. You can avoid some of this fallout by not doing that. But I'm not about to start over on my makeup routine. So, and then I'm going to go in with my contour brush and just kind of right where I put in the, right where I contour with my foundation, I'm going to go in and kind of seal that in with this. I'm not really adding in a lot more color. It's just what's existing on my brush. I barely tapped these shades. And now, then I'm going to go back on the same thing that I did with the lighter colors of foundation and just kind of highlight there with those to seal them in. And it just kind of adds like an additional, it seals in the foundation, adds like an additional distinction between the highlight and the contour. And now I'm going to do it on my nose. Y'all should remember I don't have anything on my nose. I don't put foundation on my nose at all. Particularly not today, because look at this. All right. So now I'm going to go in with this. It's just a dry brush with no color on it, and I'm going to blend all of that out. And usually I'm pretty aggressive around the nose, but okay. Might have put too much there. What do you think? All right, we're gonna fix that. That's fine. That's fine. Everything's fine. All right. I'm gonna wipe away a lot more of that. Okay. Okay. And then I'm going to go in with my translucent powder. Laura Mercier, and I'm just dusting this to kind of set everything that I just did, and so that when shine and stuff comes up a little later today, as I've been sitting at my desk, that it captures it and stops it in its tracks. Okay. All right, I'm going to use my beauty blender since it's still wet and go ahead and put on some NARS liquid blush. I freaking love this stuff. It goes on very bright, very clown-ish, but then it kind of melts into your skin similarly to how you would expect foundation to function. It is the same concept, I suppose, liquid foundation, and then it kind of turns into more of a powdery feel. The only difference is that liquid foundation, I don't feel like it goes on with quite as much pigment as this. Maybe because this is pink, I don't know, it stands out more, but you can already tell it's like the shade has lightened up a lot from when it first went in. And it will continue to do that. It takes a second, but it will kind of like melt into the skin. And I do still add like highlight and stuff onto it, and I feel like that helps it blend and whatever. Let me grab my powder brush, swipe over that and blend. Blend, blend, blend. All right, so now I'm using my highlighter palette, and I'm gonna go and put a little bit of highlight on the cheekbones. This blush, like really, be careful there. This blush also has a lot of like light reflecting in it. And so you don't need too much highlight because it kind of already does that naturally on its own, so. All right. And then just for good measure, I'm gonna go in and add a little bit more under eye because I do feel like it was getting a little of the like fallout powder was still persisting there. It was coming through loud and proud, and that's not where we want it to come through. Okay. All right, so cleaned that up a little bit, and because we all love an accent, I'm gonna go in under eye and add in a little bit of pink glitter to kind of complement the pink glitter on the upper eyelid, but also just like a little pop. Who doesn't love a little fun glitter pop? And that brightens up the eye a little bit because it was a little dark with the browns, but I think the glitter kind of adds like equivalent to like highlight on the cheekbone, highlight under the eye. I just like it. Now that I've finished off the powder for the most part, I can finally touch up the eyebrows. I like to do this last because otherwise the powder gets all into the eyebrows and there's no recovering from that. All right, so I'm just going in and drawing little baby strokes in the areas that I need to fill it in, particularly like the tail, because I don't have one over here. I don't have an eyebrow tail. So I gotta like build that baby from scratch. But I want to do it in a way that it looks pretty natural, like it's actually just like my hair. So I'm just kind of like trying to shade it in to make it look more full. Like so. Okay, there. That looks like a natural eyebrow. Whoa, whoa. Not patchy. I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. Whoa, got a little messy down there. All right, and build out the tail on this side as well. And I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills brush. She's the OG of eyebrows. To kind of build that out. This brow's been giving me a little bit of problem lately. I think it's probably time for like a professional wax and shape, which I have not had done in the last time would have been 3 years ago. Yeah, it's literally been 3 years since I've had them shaped and waxed. As I said, my brows are pretty scarce to begin with. Like I use not Latisse, I use the Grande brow or Grande lash, whatever, on them to, oops, that is messy, but I can't do anything about it now because, shoot. I use the Grande, can't think, Grande, I'm looking for my, where's my thing? Okay, there it is. The spoolie. I use the Grande brow lash stuff on them to sort of fill in the hairs. But, I mean, the hairs are just blonde. Even if they are there, they're hard to see usually. And that looks a little weird. Looks like it's kind of, let me fill that out.
This is very risky right now because they're a little wet. Do not recommend this. All right, that looks a little like evil eye, but as I said, this one's been giving me problems lately. It's gonna have to be a conversation, but I don't have time for that right now. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and touch up a little bit of the curls in my hair. Thankfully, I curled my hair yesterday to go to that party, so it's got like a little bit of a wave in it, and I can just touch up my curls instead of having to completely redo them, which is nice because I don't want to do that. I am going to go through first and just spray a heat protectant. This should still be alive and kicking from yesterday because I spray a heat protectant every time that I do my hair, but you know, good measure, doesn't hurt. All right, I'm going to carelessly divide my hair into 2 sections. I say carelessly because I realized like as I was doing that, I just stuck the curling iron back there like with no regard for my hand whatsoever. And I am like literally just grabbing sections. I don't even care if hair falls out of them because it's like gonna be this like messy kind of tousled curl, and I'm just kind of riding the waves of yesterday's curl too, so that I don't have to spend 1, a lot of time, but 2, a lot of heat, because I am in a place where I am growing my hair out. I had to cut it short to get rid of all the platinum, but I'm growing it out. So both for timing and for long-term rejuvenation. All right. And this goes pretty quick too, which is what I can appreciate. Like that's already all done. You know, like especially if you're riding the curls from the day before, you can just kind of toss in like a little bit more light wave and it looks curled. Because I'm not going for like curly Q look here. I'm just trying to like add in a little bit of an accent here and there. I'm also doing like really big sections because of that. Like if I was gonna go in and like try really hard, I would obviously section off my hair and do this the right way, but you know, doing what you can. Ow. And I don't really hold the curling iron on a lot either, because I'm not going for super tight curls, just kind of like trying to refresh, you know? So this is pretty messy. But look, that already looks refreshed in comparison. And then like I'll do a little tease and a little spray and like, oh, we're good. Okay. I mean, the poor back of my hair though, it's just like, it's very out of sight, out of mind for me. You know? Okay. Particularly in a time of Zoom calls, it truly does not matter. Also, the hair on this side of my head is so much thicker. Why do I have so much more hair on this side of my head? Is that normal? I mean, I feel like it's parted pretty much in the middle right now. But holy hell, like, I have double the hair on this side. I don't know if it looks that way. It doesn't really even look that way to me when I look in the mirror that it's that much more. But when I feel it, like, when I'm sectioning it off, I mean, it is double the amount of hair. Is that a thing? Do humans, you know, like one boob and one foot are supposed to be bigger? Are you supposed to have more hair on one side of your head? Even if it's parted, like, basically? I mean, it's pretty much in the middle. I can maybe move a little to the other side, but I'm telling you, this feels like, this right here feels like as much hair as I have on that side. Should I be concerned about that? I'm going to go down a WebMD rabbit hole. Okay. Almost done. See, this is super quick. Like, this is quicker than makeup.
I can't wait until my hair is so much longer. I talked to a girl at work last week, and she has gorgeous, beautiful, long blonde locks like I used to have. And I was like, okay, is your hair natural like that? Like, does it have that like curl in it? Because it looked very like mermaid-esque. And she was like, no, I've just been sleeping in it with it like scrunched up in a scrunchie basically. And then I wake up and it dries and stays like this. And I'm just like hearing this and I'm like, oh, I used to be that way. I used to like literally toss my hair up in a scrunchie and just like wrap it in like a bun, and I would wake up the next morning and like let down my Rapunzel hair and these perfect like effortlessly loose waves and or loose curls, and then it would stay like that for an entire week. Like I would literally do that on Sunday night, and by Friday people were like, oh my god, your hair looks so good. And I was like, I know, I didn't do anything. I just have great hair. And then here I am, years later. My, how the cookies crumbled. Okay. I'm going to tease this up a little bit and then just add in some texture and let this baby go. All right. Tease that up for a little bit of height. Or a lot bit of height, you know, we are in Texas. All right. And then I'll add a little bit of tease here, more so to keep this out of my face, not to add really a ton of height. I have to say my hair feels super clean right now, which is, because did I wash it yesterday? I washed it the day before, and it's a big deal for me. Okay, that's a little lopsided. All right. And then I'll spray. The Oribe spray is like top notch. I used to like be on the big sexy train like no other. But I just got the Oribe spray during one of the Sephora sales because it was like 20% off. So I was like, I'll try it. Every Oribe product I've tried, I absolutely love. So how could it be any different? I almost regret trying it because it's so good that I don't think I can go back to Big Sexy, which sucks for my wallet because this stuff's expensive. But it is so good and would highly recommend the Oribe spray. This is their super fine strong hairspray. I don't know where that sits in their product line, if this is like the most intense, but I think this is just like more, I think this is like a mid-range, mid to high range strength, like hold. But there we go. So just like light, fun curls. Imagine if it was down here though and this kept going. Oh, oh, but we can't let our minds go there. The future will come. All right. I don't have any mascara on or lipstick. I was like, why do my eyes look so beady? All right, I'm gonna add in, what time is it? Ooh, 9:30, I gotta go. All right. I'm gonna add in some lashes. I definitely don't like this angle with this cold sore going on. The camera, like this is up close. Kind of makes me want to do this right here. And y'all can watch me more from a distance, putting on my mascara. Yeah. Because that's not a cute situation up close. All right. I do have to say the jury's in on the Grande lash. That stuff works. I've been using the Roden & Fields Lash Boost. It also works. So I'm not saying it's necessarily better. But I got a couple months supply of the Grande lash like through purchases with Sephora. And I was like, well, I mean, instead of buying a replacement tube of the Roden & Fields, why don't I try this stuff out? And for a while there, I thought it wasn't working, but nope, it's working. It is working. My lashes are super long for me. So definitely would recommend. I think it's cheaper. I'm gonna look up the price point. If it's cheaper, I'll switch to the Grande Lash because I have no personal ties to Roden & Fields. That's the product that I tried at the time that didn't require a prescription or didn't require me to go do anything. And so I started using it and it worked. But now so many others have come out. But I want to say that the Grande Lash for a tube, it's like $60 or $70. And the Roden & Field, I think I'm paying like $120. I will look at how long they last though, because the Roden & Fields, I mean, at this point I think I buy it 2, maybe 3 times a year. So it does last a really long time. And I actually have an unopened tube, so I'll finish that out, but I will compare price points to see which one to go with, because at this point I'm convinced both work just as good. Okay, like my eyelashes have grown a ton. I didn't use a eyelash primer. I mean, y'all saw, I just went straight to the mascara, so this is no primer or anything. Which I kind of want to get back to a mascara primer because I was using the Dior one for a while, and that stuff, first of all, it lasted for like a year, which is never ending. But I swear that stuff worked. Even if it just like barely elongated my lashes or made them look thicker or full or whatever. I noticed it, and I ran out because it was getting dry, and so then it was causing my mascara just to look cakey instead, or like crumbly, and I just haven't replaced it. But oh, I know why, because I was using the Dior one because somebody raved about it. But then I tried the Lash Paradise one by Maybelline, and it was just as good. That's what it was. I was going to go get the cheap one from the drugstore because it was seriously just as good. And I just haven't done it yet, so I'll add that to my Ulta list for when I go. Because you wouldn't know it by my neck right now, but I'm out of spray tan. All right. There, much better. Mascara, game changer. Just in general. All right. Time to add in a little lippy. Since I am wearing sparkles on a Monday morning, I'm going to actually go for more of a subtle lip. I'm just going to go to the OG Pillow Talk, Charlotte Tilbury. Do kind of more of a subtle, neutral, nude pink type lip. All right, so I'm going to line slightly over the lip line up here. And out. There we go. I know a lot of people have been drawing their lip liner like straight across right there to make their lip look fuller. I'm actually not crazy about that. I mean, I don't know. To me, it's really hard to hide. Like I've seen even a lot of people on social media who are just doing like selfies or talking on their stories that have done that. And they've like had their makeup done, they've professionally done it. I mean, not that it looks bad. It's just like, to me, it's so noticeable that you drew the line. Like it would be like, you know, like if I drew a winged eyeliner, you can tell that's not my eye, you know? And to me, it just makes it look noticeable, where if you overline the lip in the natural shape, I feel like it just looks way more natural. It's like harder to distinguish where the lip started and where the lip liner started, where if you draw that line, I don't know, to me it's just like, it's not looking like a like a sexy pout, like I think they want it to. It's looking like they drew a line across their lip and didn't line their line properly. That's just the vibe that I'm getting from it. Because I just feel like it's super noticeable. But that's just me. So I'm going to stick with this style right now. All right. So the sun's kind of shining through, so I see half my face. Okay, so this is where I leave you for today. Before I do, though, a quick setting spray to make this stay. This look does have to stay most of the day. I will come touch it up later before I head out for dinner, but I want it to stay most of the day because I don't have a lot of free time, and just you want your makeup to stay. I don't have to justify that. All right, this is it. Okay, well, thank you guys for tuning in and hanging out with me this morning. If you like what you saw today, definitely be sure to come back tomorrow. I get ready on camera every morning before I head into the office, so I would love for you to join me if you want to get alerted that I am live. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell. If you do that, you'll get a notification every time I go live. Also, if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button when it's posted on my channel later today or this week. And yeah. All right. Thanks for joining. Have a great Monday. I will see you back here tomorrow for another day of Makeup with Meesh. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.